Hey Thrivers, you're listening to episode number 18. Today, Christine and I are joined by another local mom, videographer, professional barista, and friend, Bethany Ballentyne.
Not only is Bethany a ton of fun to hang out with, she's smart, business savvy, and passionate about helping other women get connected. She and her husband work together shooting videos for weddings up and down the East Coast, and Bethany is also part of the Oak Moss Collective team in Lancaster, PA.
If you've been on the fence about whether or not to have a gender reveal party, curious about Macedonia, or a fan of Malibu Rum and Cokes, keep listening.
Welcome to The Thrive, a podcast for working moms. This is for all the women and moms listening. If you work from home, in an office, run your own business, or are the CEO of your family, this podcast is for you. Because at the end of the day, all moms are working moms. Rachel and Christine invite you to celebrate the victories, get advice, listen to their mom fails, and to know you aren't alone, to thrive in your everyday life.
Welcome everybody, this is Rachel
And Christine.
Thank you so much for joining us this week. This week we have a guest with us who is local to Lancaster. She's a friend of mine and
A friend of mine.
Yes, I was going to say Christine and I both met
In
her
like
through
the last few weeks.
Yeah. We met through Mom's Group, where I feel like we've met a handful of people that have been on this show. And Bethany Ballentyne is here with us today.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for coming.
My first podcast.
Oh my gosh. We're so excited to have you, and we're glad that we could welcome you to the world of podcasting.
Yes, and Instagram Lives. We just did our weekly live video each week. If you haven't found us on Instagram yet, we do a live video before we record with our guests to give you a sneak peek of who we're having on the show. It's a fun way for you to ask questions. If you've got anything specific for our guests or ideas, we would love to hear from you guys. So next week, we will be recording, I think, on Wednesday. But we'll let you know ahead of time. We will let you know when we'll be live.
Well, Bethany, thank you so much for being here. This is going to be so fun. Don't worry. Don't be nervous. We're going to bombard you with questions.
If you need another Coke and rum, I can make you one.
I know.
Perfect. Well, let's start with favorite things because I feel like we probably have a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, and I love that you're from the area, and you and your hubby are always posting really cute pictures of things that you do downtown. Or I just love that Bethany have a 1-year-old. And I love that they don't really let their baby, keep them from doing fun things.
Oh, no.
Same with you guys.
Yeah.
I feel like you do a lot of fun things, even though Nora is still young. I know some people hibernate.
Well, I feel like we all kind of do that. And now Nora's still a little bit younger, but you said your daughter is how many months?
She's 15 months, yeah.
So you probably can get out a little bit more. I feel like Nora naps all day, but you go to a lot of really fun places.
I'm not a homebody in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
There are days that we're stuck inside, and when my husband comes home from work, I'm like, I need to go to get coffee, or I need to go to the mall. I just have to, it's bad. If I'm inside for more than, when we have snow, I can't. I just can't handle it.
Yep, not a favorite thing.
I can't be inside. It's not my favorite thing at all. Yeah, we have always just gone out and done stuff, and she's not really, great. If she sleeps in the car and we try to take her in, it's not happening. Naps are done. But it's fine, and we just want to have fun anyway. So
yeah. So what's one of your favorite places to go with her?
Well, we spend a ton of time in the city, and my favorite thing right now is the splash pads.
Oh,
have you been there?
No,
okay. There's a couple, right?
Yeah, there's a few.
Tell me.
Actually, if you go on the website, I don't know. I always Google it because I always feel like I'm gonna get the times wrong. They're open kind of weird times because it's an actual summer program that you can register for your kids if they're over 6 or something. But they're free. So I like to go to the pool, but I don't like to pay to go to the pool.
I love free. Yeah.
I love free. So we go.
And the pool is
today
hard
we
with
went.
toddlers. The pool is really hard when your kids are little.
Well, and we don't last much longer than an hour or so. So I'm I'm not going to spend $20 for the two of us to get in. And then obviously she's still free, but I'm not going to do that. So today we even went for just an hour because we were waiting for my car to be done, getting inspected. Yeah. And we just went from I don't know.
So is this a blow up thing or what is this?
No. It's you walk in and it's a wading pool where it's 1.5 feet and it kind of has
like beach style where it like starts off at like nothing and goes in. But then they also
Which
have
one
like
is
sprinkler.
this?
So we went to 6th Ward Park, and that's over on like Ross Street off of like New Holland Avenue.
Okay.
So I really like that one. There's a little bit more shade there, but then there's one over by, I think it's on Orange. It's really close to our house.
Is that Reservoir Park?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the other one that we like, but they're just kind of weird over there. Last time we went, they closed like 20 minutes early. So we only got like 15 minutes there, which was like a bummer because by the time I got here already.
Yeah.
So we just we don't go there a lot. There's not any shade at all. And I'm like so weird about the sun.
Yeah.
So we usually end up over at the other one. But they're the best. And they're open. I think they're only open. It's a short thing. It's like 8 to 10 weeks or something. And so they're open from like June
yeah, they're
to
really
August.
fun. I know a couple other people. My friend Sheila, who was on a few weeks ago, she lives right off of Orange.
Yeah.
So I know that she goes to the one that you just mentioned because, I mean, they can walk there. So.
Well, we could technically walk there. When we went there last week, I drove because that was when it was just so hot. I couldn't even fathom walking.
I couldn't breathe
in the
outside.
sun.
I couldn't fathom just sitting in the sun.
I know.
Do you live in the city?
Well, we live right outside.
Okay.
So we're on that side of the city. We're really close to everything over
Perfect.
there, but that's pretty much it. There's really not anything really walking distance other than we have walked downtown, but it's 35 minutes.
Yeah.
It's fun on a nice crisp fall day. That's the only time.
That's what we were just walking downtown this weekend, and Robert was like, "Oh, would you want to live here?" And I'm like, yeah, on a night like tonight, maybe, but most of the days, probably not."
I mean, we loved when we lived downtown just because it was nice to walk to things. We were a little closer because we were right by F&M.
I do wish we were closer.
And so it was maybe 10 minutes to get to the square downtown. But I mean, once you have kids, Kyle would still like to go back downtown, but I would not trade a yard and a driveway. When you have groceries, I hated never having a place to park or having to circle my own block for somebody that was visiting to get out of a space so that somebody that lived there could park there.
I know. We haven't, we're outside of the city enough that we don't have the issue with parking usually. Sometimes we have neighbors that, I don't know how many people live there, but they definitely have 5 cars. And there's really there are off-road parking streets behind both sides of our street, but we don't really have the space in the back for a parking space, because it's just not, it's not flat. We really have to excavate back there to do it. So we don't park in the back, but usually we're okay. But
that's awesome.
When we first had the baby, I was like, I can't do this. People would be there.
I can imagine.
I have gone out and knocked on people's doors and been like, look, I'm sorry to be this person, but I have a newborn and I have 5 bags of groceries and you live 4 houses down on the other side of the street. Would you please move your car?
Would they move it?
Good for you, though.
But it's only when I know that there are, if I look and there's a space and I know that that's the house they live in, I have said something a
well,
couple
that's nice,
of
too,
times.
because it's honestly, it's closer for them.
I know.
As well. It's helping them out.
Maybe they didn't have a space when they parked, so I'm letting them, I'm trying
you're
to nicely let you know that
you're welcome for making your life more convenient when you leave for work in the morning. Mom goals, I gotta get my groceries inside.
Good for you, Bethany. This girl isn't afraid to tell people how it is.
No, oh man. So you have to have tough skin when you live, and if you don't have a driveway and you have to fight for parking, you kind of have to be like that. You have to be like, look,
you need tough skin.
You
have to fight for your parking spot.
Stop having so many cars.
We're such pushovers here in the suburbs. We're just I'll go down the road.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I definitely feel the city, there's pros and there's cons because it's great to be close to things, but I feel at this phase of my life, I don't think I could live downtown again until I keep telling Kyle, he wants to flip houses. I'm like, well, then why don't we just buy a house downtown that can be our weekend house, and we'll just have it as an Airbnb. We'll make it we'll fix it up. We'll make it an Airbnb to make, so that it pays for itself. And then if you feel you really need to be in the city, we'll just book it for ourselves a weekend or 2 here and there.
That could be a really good business. Good
Who
opportunity.
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I know somebody who they bought a row home and they live in the bottom. It's the smaller part, and they renovated. It was actually pretty much renovated when they moved in.
Okay.
They have it as an Airbnb, and it is a hop-in place. It's always booked.
Yeah.
It's so gorgeous. It's
good for them.
5 or 6, I feel.
Oh, well, that's nice.
And it's a pretty good price. Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Is this Oasis on Orange?
Yes. It's
we looked
so
at it for
pretty. Oh my gosh, I think it's so pretty. And we've had New Year's parties up there. If they have people over, we don't hang out in their apartment. We hang out like upstairs because they don't
Yeah.
always have people during
It's
the
really
week.
beautiful.
It's usually weekends.
We really liked it
great.
there, but then didn't rent it because having a baby, I thought like I can't traipse Nora in her car seat up and down these stairs in the winter and parking.
Yeah.
So the same things you were saying about your home.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know,
For
but
sure.
for a weekend getaway, it was
I know.
so nice.
I know. We've even
that's
talked about doing
awesome.
it, but it's like 6 blocks from our house. We talked about like, oh, it'd be fun to just like a staycation.
It
I'm
is.
just like, but I'm like, I don't want to spend money to stay downtown in the city we live in.
Yeah.
I get that. I would spend the money though, like the Arts Hotel I've always wanted to spend the night at.
Yeah.
And Hershey isn't that far, and I have always wanted to like splurge and like spend a night there and do the
resort?
spa.
Oh,
yes,
I know.
but then I'm like,
know.
We might have to have like a
diapers
business trip there
or
for
like
the podcast.
$600. Oh yeah, maybe if we said it was a business expense.
I would like to come on that. I will be a guest again.
Perfect. Let's schedule
Oh my
it
gosh,
right
I've
now.
always wanted to go there. It'd be fun though to split. It's different that like when you're married
Mm-hmm.
to go somewhere like that because it's coming out of your like account.
Yeah.
But if you split like a girls' weekend where
Yeah.
it's like you split it 3 ways rather than like my husband and I obviously stay in one room, but if I went with
Right.
someone else, I would only have to pay half.
That's
but then
true.
they would pay half. It's like
Well,
totally
then we'll
different
do
to
it.
like
We'll get
that.
2 double beds and we'll have
No,
a
I
4th
agree.
person, and
Yeah,
then we'll have
really.
to split it 4 ways.
It's a great idea, actually.
Rachel, you know I'm a doer, so now that you've said it, this has to happen.
Oh my
I
gosh.
should go to the spa.
Oh my gosh, I would love
Okay,
it
so I've
so
never been
much.
away for Nora for a night. Like we were just talking about Bethany, you going on
Yeah.
vacation. But for a spa, I feel like I could do it.
Yeah,
But
oh,
I
for
feel
sure.
like
And
the
it's not that
difference
far.
is
Yeah,
you're
it's
like
not.
30 minutes away.
Yeah.
If like I know people who have done that. They're like first time that they left, they've gone to like Philly or like to Hershey, like Harrisburg,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
where they're like, okay, if something went wrong, I can be home in like an hour
Right.
and it's fine.
See, what's
could
funny
do it.
is, so Oakland is 15 months, and this is the first time you're leaving her. How old have you ever left Nora? I feel like Kyle made me think it was like, oh, so long, and I was making such a big deal of it, like when we left the girls for the first time. But for us, it was just, I think it was this past fall. I don't even remember what we were doing. But like,
So
both of
Rowan
our
was
girls,
less than a year.
where did we
No,
go?
but she was your second. feel
Now
like
I
it's
can't
totally
remember.
different.
It could
But
be.
yeah, she was like
Yeah,
almost
that's
a
true.
year. And I remember he thought it was like such a long time. And I was like, well, maybe because they were close together. So like I had
Yeah.
never left Reagan either. Like, so for
That's a
her,
lot.
it was like a couple of years.
Right.
So it
I
did
just think
seem
it's
like a long
different with your
time,
second.
but
Like it's probably a different mindset where it's like it feels
Yeah.
like a big deal leaving your first, but then like once you start doing it, or like
Or
when
just
you
like
have 2
leaving
kids,
your
it's
babies
just
Yeah.
for the first time, and then once you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
well, I
can
never
do that.
left
that's
Reagan
true.
because we
Yeah.
didn't have a trip or something come up in that time. And then I was pregnant
Yeah.
again, and then I had Rowan again. So Rowan, I don't think she was quite 1. But yeah, Reagan was like 2.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh, it's been like 2
Robert's
years
been
since
away
I've gone
from Nora
away.
like several times
Yeah.
for like several days in a row. I forget for what thing. Probably for work. Like he went away for maybe 4 nights or something, 5 nights, and like he missed her, but he wasn't on his business trip crying or anything. I feel like
Right.
I need to do
I
one
know,
night.
my
just-
husband's the same way. He totally
Yeah.
like has a hard time leaving, but like he's left. He went to Africa, although I feel like that might have been when I was
that's
pregnant.
pretty far.
That
But that
is
was like
far.
10 days.
Wow.
And that might have been when I was pregnant, though. So maybe that's not true about him leaving.
Yeah.
But he did go to Chicago.
I'm sure Robert would love
business
to
trip.
leave me if I got pregnant again because I wasn't
Like,
so
ugh.
fun. Like I gotta go,
Bye.
honey.
Have fun, Christy.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
But yeah, he's like gone a couple of times. I don't know. My big thing was that I wasn't ready to leave her until I was done nursing.
yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so like we were approaching a
absolutely.
year, and I was like, I don't know, like still kind of weaning her a little bit, but it was totally me because she was fine and I was not ready to stop nursing, and
Yeah.
I had an attachment to it. So I've like finally stopped. I told Ethan, I was like, I have to be done with this. Like,
Yeah.
But good for you for
By the
getting
time we're
like
going
that long. For
That
doing
is.
it for that
and
long.
now your
That's awesome.
reward is you get to go
Is
away.
that I get to go
Yeah.
to the beach for
So,
For 2 full
I
days.
just remembered the reason we went, or the reason I went away. I think this is the difference. You guys are both going away. When I went away, it was just me. So Kyle actually had the girls. So they weren't away
well.
from both of us, which isn't quite the same.
I feel like that feels different, yeah.
but I
probably
think he
too.
was a little overwhelmed. I think he would have rather we both went
never do
away.
this again.
Probably, I'm sure he would be. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was like a
Nice
girls'
to it.
weekend. So I do remember now. It would have been like last August.
Okay.
So she actually would have only been maybe like 8 months. But he had the help of like my mom and his mom. I made sure all the grandmas were available in case he needed it. So
you set him up well.
Yes. Yeah.
Ethan would love it if I would leave. Like, he totally loves to, like, put her to bed and get her up. This morning I went and got her out of her crib, and he came in and he said, I wanted to get her up this morning. I'm like, I'm sorry. I will remember that. But he totally loves it. He would probably love it if I left for like a weekend.
Like
Robert
he
would just like have free reign and get to like hang out with her all the time.
Well, Nora's now just really gets it when Robert's like FaceTiming or something, or she even knows his voice and she freaks out when she sees him, or when he comes home, her arms are up. So like he already loves spending time with her, but I feel like that makes it even so much sweeter. So he would.
That's awesome.
Basically, what I'm saying is I think he would encourage me to go to the spa for a night.
Well, we need to get my husband on the same page because I think maybe it's the fact that
I was gonna say they can like pile all the kids in. They can have the guys night.
Maybe it's because I have two of them. He's not as quick to be like, sure, I'll watch them.
Yeah,
I was gonna say babysit, but we don't call it that. Like it's not babysitting when it's your own kid.
No, I can't stand that.
But I feel like it's different. You don't just have two kids. You have two, like, very strong-willed kids.
That's true.
So it's not even, like, watching two, like, regular toddlers. It's watching two, like, teenagers who
my kids are regular.
will not do what you ask them to do. So I feel like I can understand Kyle's hesitation.
No, thanks, Dad. I'm not going to listen.
That is true. Like, I think that if he had just one, he'd be fine. But the two of them together, oh, man.
I think they're plotting something.
They probably are. And they
we can't even talk yet, but she's in on it.
Rowan is plotting something about Paw Patrol.
She says Paw Patrol. That is her word.
Yeah.
And she's been really into saying, like, whoa. She says it like that, too. She gets really into it. She says, whoa.
Whoa.
I was driving home from the city the other night. We had just gone out for dinner, and I had to, like, slam on the brakes because someone in front of me, like, decided to cross the street, like... It wasn't terrible, but...
Perks of city life.
Rowan goes, whoa! And I was like, stop it! It wasn't that bad! It was so funny.
Where did you learn this from?
I know!
Oh my God.
Well, Bethany, you shared a little bit about your family so far, but can you tell us more about your daughter and your husband and a little bit about you?
Oh my word. Yes. Well, I'll be 26 next month. I have the same birthday as Rachel's husband, which is so awesome. So that was like a recent discovery. So I'm almost 26. My husband actually is switching jobs. That just became like
I saw
public knowledge. Yeah, he just got a new job in Philadelphia. So he's going to be leaving his position at Worship Center, which we'll still go there. We're not moving. We're not going anywhere at all. He's just going to take the train. So
yeah.
And that's exciting. And that's like a big life thing right now, I feel like.
Yeah.
What will he be doing in Philly?
Yeah, so he is working with this company called, it's CLI for short, but it's called Children's Literacy Initiative. And it's like it's actually a huge company. They have offices, I think, in like Houston and in Orlando and like a couple of other places like around the country.
Are they publicly sponsored? Because I feel like I've heard of them on like PBS or something, like
they
sponsored by like the Children's Literature Initiative. But I might be making that up.
It might. I really don't
like
know
someone that would sponsor PBS.
Yeah, they do actually.
Or like be like a partner or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so he is going to be like just a video editor. So right now, like at Worship Center, he does a lot of like scripting, shooting, and editing, which is like the whole process. Yeah. So I think he's excited to kind of like step back from that and just edit.
Like focus on one thing.
It's going to be totally different for him to not like necessarily always see projects from like beginning to end. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he's going to be doing that. And it's like videos that are like resources for teachers. And I think it's a lot of like inner city type of like curriculums that they work with. Because they work with a lot of like inner city school districts. So yeah, I think it's going to be really awesome. It was actually a friend of ours from one of my best friends from college. He was working there and he just got a job working in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it was like his dream job. And it was really cool because it was like, I'm getting my dream job. And like, I want to see if you want to like transition into this. And it was actually awesome, like timing. And it was so great. And I feel like it's really good timing for our family because we're like ready to buy a new house. And so just kind of getting everything in order. Yeah. So it's really awesome. But yeah, our daughter, she's 15 months. She says like 100 words, I swear. She says,
so cool.
She talks all the time.
I love it.
She says so many words. She talks about our dog all the time. Our dog's name is Nala and she calls her Nana. But like But that's also the word for every animal ever. So, like, we went to the park the other day, and every dog that we passed was Nana. So, it's just so cute. Like, she started, like,
they, like,
talking, and, like, she sees something, like, she says ball, so she sees it, and she's like, ball, and she finds it, and I swear, I don't even see it half the time. And then she sees it, and she goes and gets it.
So you're, like, communicating now.
Yeah, like...
Oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. So she says all these different things.
It's a fun age.
And, yeah, she's so much fun.
Where did you get her name from?
Oh my gosh.
I love her name.
Yes, so, Oakland. It's so pretty. If you're listening, it's not Oakland, like the place. It's what? No. Oaklyn?
Yes.
I
not
feel like that
Oakland,
was on
California.
A list of baby names for me that I had heard before. Yeah. But I felt like it was too cool for me.
I didn't know that Nora's name was short for Eleanor. I didn't know that until I saw the the invitation on your page.
Yeah.
But anyway, we saw Oakland's name actually on... I was, like, searching through Pinterest and, like, trying really hard not to be that person that, like, pulls a name off, like, a list on Pinterest.
Been there.
But I was literally 100% of my days. That's what I was doing.
Yep.
But I actually didn't see it on a baby list. I saw it in the background, like, kind of out of focus in this woman's maternity photo. And I, like, saw it and I was like, oh, my gosh, I love that. Like, so it immediately went on our, like, very long list of baby names, of course. It was like, we had a pink sheet that was all girl names and a blue sheet. I don't know. I'm not that organized, but I really was about baby names.
It's a big deal to pick a name.
It is a big deal.
Throw that out there,
I know.
So it's good you had organized lists.
And, like, we went back and forth for the longest time. Ethan was like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know if I like it. Like, I'm not sure. But every other name... we would, like, have a reason not to, like, choose that. Like, it was like someone we knew. Or, like, my big one was, like, I don't even remember the name now because it, like, it feels like it was so long ago. But Ethan was like, no, I dated a girl and that was, like, a nickname she had or something. Or, like, the nickname I wanted for that name was, like, a nickname that I was like, are you serious?
Off the list.
So, finally, we were in the car, like, on our way home from Pittsburgh from, like, visiting friends. And... we were just, like, talking, and we had, like, just found out the gender, but we didn't do our gender reveal yet. It was, like, the weekend before. And we were, like, holding it in, and we were trying really hard because we wanted to tell everyone her name whenever we, like, revealed that she was a girl. And I was like, babe, like, this is it. And he was like, yeah, you're right. Like, it was so nonchalant. Like, after he had been like, I don't know.
So then when you had your gender reveal, you told people the name?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did. Yeah, we did. And it was fun. But I don't know if I would do it again. I kind of want to, like, keep our name a secret the second time.
See, I always hated hearing people's thoughts or even just seeing the face they made. And so
that's why we announced it. We didn't ask for opinions. We just told them what it definitely was. And we didn't ask for anyone's opinions. We didn't want
What's her middle name?
It's May.
Okay.
So I really liked, like, longer names. But he was like, well, our last name is super long. So we can't go, like, crazy. So, but yeah, it was really fun to do that because we definitely felt that though. We were like, we don't want to know we don't want to see anyone's face. We're like, oh, we're thinking about this.
Yeah.
Like we told a couple
good
people,
for you guys.
But we were like, we're just going to tell you what it definitely is so that you can't change it.
And I think it's so cute. I love it. That's the one thing
But now we have to, like, live up to, you know what I mean? With, like, our future children. I'm like, man, we have to have, like, really good names every time.
That's true because I was just going to say, like, I feel like with each kid you learn something, and like with Rowan, like I felt like we went through so many names, and like we loved the name Reagan, and then the second name the other name that we loved was Kennedy. But I was like, we can't have a Reagan and a Kennedy. People will think we're like weirdly political or like
that's
obsessed with the presidents. So anyway, we like
Lincoln
Rowan
and a Jefferson.
I love the
But
name
now
Lincoln.
I have our names.
I grew up on Lincoln Ave.
Oh, that's cool.
So I really liked Lincoln.
It's
but
like an
then
emotional I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like
But
I can't think of any of those things.
Well, I was going to ask, do you feel, since we have two R names now, like, would it be weird if our third one, I'm not saying we're having a third one, but if we did, would it be weird to, like, not have an R name? Or, I don't know.
Pick a K name for Kyle, because he's
That's
upper
true.
representative.
That's true. I feel like I know families who have, like, even, like, 4 and 5 kids who kind of did, like, a little bit of a pattern, and then they just went, like, rogue on the last one.
True.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we didn't try it. Like,
No,
I didn't try it at all. We
was-
just happened to like those names.
Someone has a boy name with an E and a girl name with an E, and then the other ones don't. It's like an M and something else.
One's like Maria.
And,
Totally doesn't match the pattern.
And then, my brother, so they have Greta, Ira, and then Gideon, so there's 2 G's.
I love those
So I just have to
names.
get my mom, like, another G charm for her necklace, because I have to get her. I'm a little behind on that because he's like 3 months old. But no, I don't think you have to. There's no rules and you can do whatever you want.
Well, that's good to know.
I know.
But I feel like if I had a third one, the one thing that like we just did like a really like not fancy gender reveal for Rowan. We like made a cake. I made it myself. It was terrible because I made it myself. It just didn't look that good. I think well, at the time too, like
I'm all about DIY
when that was, but I'm terrible at things like that. And like at the time, I wasn't like as great at photography. So like now that I've really gotten like that was a goal of mine to like improve that and make my business like elevate my business with like investing in professional photos or learning to take them better myself. And I would love to have like you had Janessa come and take some pictures at Nora's party. I feel like if I had a third one, like I would want to do like a really pretty gender reveal. Not that it wasn't fun or special, like we just did it with my family, but I'm like, man, if we had a third one, now I know like this is something I'd focus on. This is something I would not care about at all. Yeah. But I would love to get like a really cute gender reveal.
Did you do a party
cake.
for Reagan too?
We didn't. For Reagan, honestly, I don't even remember. I think we found out and like on the way home from like the ultrasound, I think we were just so excited we like called our parents. Like we were like, let's call yours, let's call mine. Because with Reagan, everything was just like so brand new and like I didn't have any friends yet that were like having kids. Like I wasn't part of a mom's group until after I had her. So like it was really different when like you're not influenced by, like, what other people are doing. Like, now I see, like, oh, well, this was a cute thing from your party. Or, like, oh, I saw she had such a fun thing or, did things in a really neat way for this gender reveal. And at the time, I just had nothing. I wasn't really that much on Pinterest. Like, I was just trying to survive, okay? I was pregnant, got pregnant on my honeymoon. So I was just in survival mode. And that's why the third time would be the charm.
Here with Rachel, too.
The third time, I could figure it out.
That's funny. I honestly don't know that we would do another gender reveal. Like, I'm glad we did it the first time, but, like, I feel like the opposite. I'm like, I don't know. Like,
we didn't find out. It was a surprise.
Oh, really?
And
That's
I
so
thought
special.
about doing that, but my sister-in-law did that, and now I'm like, oh, shoot. Like, am I copying her?
No, because a lot of people don't. I am glad I did, or that I didn't know. And if we had another baby, I'm not decided what I would do either way. Yeah. But I was like, there are only a few really, like, genuine surprises that like God can give us in our life, and this is going to be one of them. And it was the most amazing moments.
I need you to convince me to do that because I am so impatient that like it was even hard for us. We were going to find out at the ultrasound like what it was, but then like on the way in we were like, oh, like we should at least have like a moment, like our moment. So we had them still write it down and we like took it home. And, like, that night, we still, like, had our own little
I still
thing.
like that, yeah.
I feel like I really like doing that because you can have, like, the actual emotion. And, like, that was fun. But I just keep thinking, like, it would be so fun to just not know. But my husband's parents were just driven mad about not knowing. They had to know. They literally would ask because they were convinced that she found out and just wouldn't tell anybody. Like, they were convinced that she knew. And it was really funny. It was, like, kind of like a conspiracy about, like, whether, like, if she knows or not. But, we all thought it was a boy, and it was a girl. Like, it was so funny, like, because it was kind of fun, because everyone really thought it was a boy, and all of a sudden, like, he even sent the picture, my brother-in-law sent the picture to everybody, and didn't tell us what she was. She was wearing a diaper. We did not know. Like, we literally saw her and did not know if she was a boy or a girl. Yeah. And newborns, it's not like you can tell.
Newborns all look the same.
So, it was really fun. So, I keep thinking, like, I want to do that, but now, like, her sister-in-law is pregnant, and she's not finding out. And I'm like, I don't want this to be like that.
I feel like you do what is right for you, and if you want to have that experience. Robert was the one who told me she was a girl. Like, he saw her come out.
I love that.
And I have it on video. I can show you guys. It's totally PG. My mom was in the room and she videoed it.
See it.
And so she came out, and Robert said, we have a girl, and I've never cried like that or experienced that emotion, because I was like, really wanting a daughter, and it was just 9 months of what just came out. Yeah. It was amazing. So cool. It was amazing.
I love that so much.
And so we had a boy name and a girl name picked out, obviously, and then my dad came in the room and we told them both what her name is, and we have that on video too. So
that's so cool.
I absolutely loved it, but who knows? If we had a second, we might still find out and like have a moment like you girls had.
Yeah.
So
it's nice though. I feel like to have the different experiences.
Yeah,
because like I like that we found out and we did it a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and so like I kind of like the idea of having it like drastically different the second time. Where like either we didn't find out or we like just did it completely opposite.
Oh my god!
And there's no wrong way.
We'll have you back on the show when you have your second one. Tell us about it.
Yes.
Your gender reveal can be here on the podcast.
Yes.
That'll be like the big draw. Everybody listen to the end.
Yeah. Hey Thrivers, if you've been listening and you would love to join the Inspire Business community or a mastermind group like you've heard us talking about tonight, I have a special coupon code just for you. If you use code THRIVE20, that's THRIVE20, you can save 20% off of any workshops or upcoming events, or you can use that towards a mastermind membership and save $100 off your membership for the year. So this is an awesome chance for you to get involved, and I would love to see you at an upcoming event. Again, it's THRIVE20, and I hope to see you soon. Oh my gosh, I feel like we've been talking about babies for a while, which is great because we're obviously passionate about our kids. But I would love to know a little bit more about how you met your hubby and then how you guys got into doing what you do now. Because you guys work together. He's changing full-time jobs, but to anyone listening that doesn't know Bethany, her and Ethan have a video production business.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
Yeah, so I know. So we met in college, and we were doing the same thing in college, or in the same major.
And where'd you go to school?
We went to, it was Valley Forge Christian College. Now it's called the University of Valley Forge.
Okay.
So it's in Phoenixville. It's like an hour from here.
That's where Robert used to live.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
My
so
uncle works
there.
at the theater downtown.
Okay. That's awesome. The Colonial?
Where the Blob is.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
All
That's so
right.
cool. Anyway.
Small world.
Such a cute town.
Yes. But yeah, so we kind of got started really like to just earn extra money. Like, to be honest, like freelancing is kind of like that. Like you can either decide to like market yourself and really push it and make a bunch of money, or you can be like, hey, this is like our side gig and we don't really have time. Like, that's kind of where we're at. We don't have time to be full time. Like, my husband works full time, and that is what works for us because of like not having to worry about like insurance and you know what I mean? Like that's something that we really value, like as a family, not having to spend a lot of time dealing with. We like that he works full time and, you know, he can actually like he can take whatever jobs that he wants or doesn't want, which is awesome. But we kind of just got started. Both of us were working, like different professors and different friends would have people ask them to do weddings. And we would just kind of like jump on board like whenever we were asked. And obviously in college, you have no idea about like pricing or about like really what you're doing. So we were doing it for like literally no money. Like we look back on like what our wedding package looks like now. And like when we started, we were charging like $500. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like all the time. By the end, like all the editing that you put in, your time like breakdown, you made like $5 an hour. Like it was just not worth it. But it's hard. Like you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, and honestly, like I think you mentioned when were we doing an Instagram live? Well, we were, obviously.
Yes, we were.
Am I remembering correct? No, you said that when you got started, you did a video for someone, and then you ended up doing their whole bridal party, ended up using you. So I feel like when you first start, like you kind of learn as you go because word of mouth is like the best way to grow your business.
Yeah, we always tell, like when people kind of ask us about like what we do and like how we market ourselves, we like pretty much don't market ourselves. Like, because for us, we found that anytime that we push anything or like run a special, we get too many inquiries. And it's not like we're getting like, oh, we got 100. It's not like that, but it's like we really don't have time with him working full time and being the editor. We don't have time to take 4 weddings a month, especially now that we have a baby. Yeah. So we actually choose not to really market ourselves a whole lot. And we have gotten like, just like all of our business has been word of mouth, which has been amazing because it's like, it's always, every year it's been the exact amount that we've needed, which is amazing. That's cool. Like that's one year, our busiest year, we did 15 weddings, which for part-time is a lot. Like, it really is a lot with all the editing time, and it was super overwhelming. And Ethan,
and I mean, if you
guy,
think of
really
it,
struggling,
well, there's 52 weeks in a year, right?
Yeah.
So like 15.
But then you kind of like get rid of
that's almost
a third
of
those that are really not peak season. Like your peak well, I guess more than a third, but your peak season really is like May to October. So when you're squeezing 15 weddings into that, we were doing like 3 weddings a month. Like there was a couple months that we had 2 weddings a weekend, which we like just can never do that ever again.
I'm tired.
Like I see full-time photographers and I'm like, you go, like, for being able to like do 2 weddings and have like the headspace of like being at one wedding and then waking up and being at another, like that's a whole new level.
And our wedding photographer had a family, but he was so present with us. And I, like you're saying, he probably had a million other projects going, but we felt like we were the most important.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how people do that.
But I think that you can have that mindset when that's your full-time job. I think it's very difficult for us to, like, sometimes to separate that. Like, I think it's easier for me because I don't go and, like, I don't have adult time all the time during the week.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes it's just fun. Like, even if we don't get to, like, really let loose at a wedding, like, it's really fun to just, like, be a part of, like, a party and, like, see all these adults having fun. You know what I mean? So I think I
over here.
I'm going to live vicariously through your life.
I'm constantly telling him, like, seriously, like, we're going to do a good job. We know what we're doing. Let's just, like, have more fun. Like, let's like, be more... I don't know, like, jump in with people and, like, interact. I don't know, neither of us are really as extroverted as we think we are. So I'm like, we should jump in with everyone dancing. And then I get there and I'm like, I can't. I'm too embarrassed.
So what was that transition like? So you were doing it in college, kind of freelancing, jumping in where you could, and then obviously you got married and you didn't have a baby yet. What was that transition like? Did your work pick up?
Yeah, so that, like, I was talking in the live about that first wedding that we did together. That was actually a wedding of a friend of someone who worked at our school, who, like, referred my husband. And we were still dating at that point, but he was like, hey, like, we'll just go do this, like, during the day. Like, let's go down for the day. And it was at this, like, gorgeous winery, which gorgeous weddings, like, make for the best looking videos anyway. Like, so we're already set up for success. We're like, yes, we like got this awesome wedding, you know? So, but it was so fun. Like the bridesmaids, it was a pretty big like bridal party. And most of the bridesmaids were either single or like engaged. Like they were not, most of them
really
were not
fun
married.
Wedding.
Well, yeah, it definitely was. But like also they were like prime, like future customers.
Here are
like,
clients.
we see how you're working. So I honestly think that we have at least maybe 5 weddings from that wedding. Which is awesome. And it's been fun because we've gotten to shoot all over. Like for a while though, it was kind of funny because we started there and that was in Maryland. We kept getting like Baltimore weddings and we were like, we need to like work our way back up to Lancaster because we're like, I don't want to drive like 2.5 hours every time. But they really have awesome venues in Baltimore. Like we've shot some really cool stuff. But yeah, it's really that like kind of happened naturally where we like took it. And then we got engaged and we had bought, that was like, we always joke, we bought a camera together before we got engaged. And Ethan literally was like, are we sure about, like, he was like, this is a big step.
investment.
So it was kind of funny because it was
when you
like,
get like a nice camera,
when you get a
that's
dog together.
But did you know,
a few $100s though, right? That's not just
like $2,800.
Oh, wow.
So did you know you were getting married in your head?
Oh, yeah. Like, for sure.
Like, babe, let's just buy this camera.
So that's not just a few hundred. That's like a couple thousand. Wow.
But he was literally like, what do we do? Like, if we break up, is one of us going to have to, like, buy the other one? It was actually a real conversation.
Here's the prenup for this camera.
But it's funny because that's, like, people, I don't know, that was just, like, our big thing. So we actually bought that so that we could, like, continue doing weddings. And we were, because I was still in school for 2 years after he graduated, I had access to, like, a full lab of, like, equipment that I could rent.
That's awesome.
So it was awesome for us because it was free for me to use, and even, like, a lot of places, obviously you have to pay usually to rent. So, like, we didn't have all the equipment, so we were able to rent it for free and still make money, and it was, like, the perfect way to kind of, like, set some money aside and, like,
get started.
Yeah, so
this
it
is something, too,
naturally.
like, I don't think people realize, like, when they are looking... I know I don't even take photos. Like, I'm not in your industry, but when people get pricing from me, sometimes I feel like they're like, what? And I know when I have a friend that I have referred some business to because she does product photography. And I've had some clients that need that and they've gotten quotes from her. And I feel like they come back to me like, is that normal? Like, that seems so expensive. And then when I hear you talking about like, well, think of how much just the equipment costs. Like,
well,
if you want professional
$2,800
pictures
for one camera, not including the lens that you have to have on it in order to use it. So it's people, it really is. It's difficult. We'll send our pricing out for weddings. We probably, when we send pricing out to people for shoots and like especially weddings, because that's a big investment. When you send out your pricing, like probably 7 times out of 10, people, it's just like radio silence. Like people just don't. And I would love to have a conversation with people about like, you know what I mean? Like kind of start that,
educate them on what's going on.
It's okay if you don't want to book us, but just so you know, I would love to let you know, like, this is why our pricing is high. Like, this is the years of experience we have. This is how many hours it takes to edit, and this is what the hourly rate is. And our rate, I still feel like, is low, but it's because we work together, so we don't have to split it with someone else. Right, so we've been able to keep our prices lower because we work and it all stays in our house rather than splitting it up and having to pay $700 to this person. And you know what I mean? Like,
Well, and when Robert and I were engaged and we were planning, other than the breakdowns I had about how expensive everything was, I just really had some moments. But I said to him the things that I wanted to invest in were my photos, and we did get a video. And I haven't watched the video a lot, but I'm so glad we have it. And we even did like the unedited version, so we have the whole ceremony, and there's a part of it where we hear like when it was just Robert and I praying, and just so like a moment between the two of us. I would not give that up for anything. And I said, if we're going to spend money on something, it's the one thing that will last. Photos and video.
We're like, the way that we kind of see it, and when people ask us like, why do you do video? Why would we want video? Like, you know what I mean?
So happy we have ours.
It's like, it's one of those things, like, your photos can capture so many moments, but you're not going to capture like as much of the like raw emotion of like certain moments happening. So like you might have photos of you like getting your dress on, but you might not actually have your full reaction of like seeing yourself in the mirror for the first time. Or like if you do a first look, you're going to have photos of like if your husband is like bawling his eyes out, and that's awesome, but there's like something that's so emotional about like seeing it happen again. Like in
I agree with that. Life. Like video is just different.
Right. And it's so cool. Like, it's been hard. When we first started, there was not a good relationship between photographers and videographers. It was very much like the photographers still really lead the day. We love to follow photographers because they know how to lead the day, and we love it. Like,
I feel like they invest a lot of like time figuring out how to get those shots.
But we had so many issues where it was really just a lack of communication, and we both felt like we were like the other person was in our way. But the reality is you're both like paid to be there to do like a super important job, and like you need to just like communicate and get it done.
Help each other look better if you're working well together.
And recently I feel like it's been so much better. I think that there are so many more photographers who have worked with video companies, or like who have worked with like really active DJs. Like now DJs really are kind of heading up the receptions, which it wasn't really. Sometimes they would just like follow a list, but I feel like
no, I like that about ours. Actually, I had no clue. Like I got the DJ's info from a friend, but that's funny you said that, because I was like, well, I don't know. Like I'll give him some information about like who's in the bridal party, but like I guess he's just gonna like introduce them, and like I mentioned like like if you could like help get people dancing, but he just like went with it, and it was so great. Like he really did like set the tone and like made it fun.
Yeah, it really is. I feel like the relationship is really a lot better now between like vendors as a whole. Like it's getting better. Even venues used to just like treat us so like poorly. I've sat like in the back of a box truck eating like a kid's meal. Like it's there have been times that we've just like not been treated well, but it's gotten so much better because I just feel like the culture is like changing. Everyone's hiring awesome photographers now. Like most people are not going low budget, especially on photos anymore. Like people really want these to be like as good as they can be, and it's not just for memories to be preserved. It's like they want it to look good.
And I feel like, I listened to Jenna Kutchers' podcast, and the one thing that I loved listening to was she did a show. Maybe it's boring if you don't have a business, but if you do, listen, I forget what number it is, but it's all about contracts. And she talks about how, like, you need to have, like, logistically figure things out and figure out what works for you. And, like, she talks about how, you know, she just goes – I love that she's just so real. And she goes through, like, the list of, like, you know, when I started doing weddings, like, one of the things I added in was that, like, you will provide me with a meal.
Yeah,
and
we
like,
have to add that to ours.
Yeah, like, because it's something that I'm like, I don't know how you would overlook that. Like, I just assumed, like, of course, like, you get a meal. Like, you're here shooting and, like, you've been up since 8 a.m. to take pictures of me getting ready. Like, go eat.
When I worked weddings with a wedding coordinator for a little over 2 years, same thing where once I started working them, I'm like, when are you eating? When are you drinking? When do you have some water? Because you're just like on the go so much that I didn't even realize it. And then I thought, oh, that's why they have to have a meal. Like, I wish I would have given them more as my people because they're doing such hard work.
Yeah, well, and most times our break time is like dinner because people don't want photos of themselves eating a big salad, you know, like. So really, we take a break, and it's usually, like, about an hour, which is great because it gives us good time to, like, recuperate and, like, guzzle a bunch of water. Because we totally do forget about, like, eating and drinking. And I don't know. It's a lot. But, yeah, I feel like it's so much. And it's so much to fit into one day. And it's like, why would you not feed everybody that's at your venue on your birthday?
And like you said, Bethany, though, you have a heart for educating people and really relating to them and having them understand what you're doing and what you bring to the table. And the fact is, I mean, we've all been there as brides. Like, there are parts of it that maybe you just don't know because you don't know what you don't know.
For sure.
But the fact that you care to, like, let people know what your experience is and why things in your contract are the way they are. I mean, I feel like that just speaks really highly of you and your husband and the way you run your business. So
yeah, and
that's
I think
really cool to hear.
And, like, the communication is just, like, key, especially not even on our end. It's really important, I think, now for, like, venues to communicate and, like, we've worked with some really cool venues who, like, have put us on their, like, preferred list. And we're like, oh my gosh, we feel so special. And it's not even that, like, we've done 100 weddings there. It's just that, like, we had a good experience together. So, like, if they treat us well and we treat them well and we communicate with them, like, you create a good relationship. And I feel like at the end of the day, like, yeah, it's going to help you because now we have photographers who will, like, refer us because they like to work with us. Yeah. And I just think that that's where we, like, need to go. And it's not always been like that.
I love that. I feel like it's so much, like, one of the hashtags I always use, community over competition. Like, I feel like when you learn to work well with people, you know, it can only help both of your businesses.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what industry you're in, I feel like, yeah, I love that. Yeah. So I have a little game I want to play. It's called Get to Know Bethany in 5 questions.
And she wanted to be prepared, so here we go.
These are really easy questions. So, Bethany, dogs or cats?
Oh, dogs.
Okay.
Well, I'm allergic to cats, but I think they're funny to watch in YouTube videos, but I just don't like them. I can't be around them.
See, these are questions that are really easy, but they teach people a lot about someone.
Right.
That's true.
Beer or wine?
Wine, yeah, for sure. All wine. Always.
All the time.
I will drink beer, but it's like when my husband is like, oh, let's have a beer.
Or when it's the craft beer fest.
Yes.
We're going to that. Because it's on her birthday and my husband's birthday.
Fine.
Yes, and also they'll probably have like hard cider.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm totally all about hard cider.
I feel like I had to pick up my drunk friend from that once when she was helping.
Yeah.
Sweet memories.
I had to drive home my drunk husband.
Well, you girls call me if you need help.
Drive home drunk me, that's for sure.
What's the date?
It's August 25th.
Yeah. August 25th. Okay. I'll try to be available if you guys need me.
It's a fun time. I think we're going to, the nice thing is they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing it in 2 halves this year. Last year, the problem was Kyle got us tickets that we could get in early. Oh. And then it was from like, I think it started at 4 and we could get in at 3. And it went until like 8 o'clock.
Oh gosh.
So we didn't stay until 8, but we probably stayed till 7.
Like Kyle's living his best life. He's like, let's go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, what's cool is last year we learned a lot. So you live and learn. There was these people wearing these like homemade necklaces that were like a string of yarn or something with pretzels on them. Yes.
You need to eat.
Did they make them and bring them?
Yes.
So we should have a craft day.
Yes.
The day before.
We'll make them. And you know what else I saw somebody using that I'm like, that's amazing. I've only seen it on like BuzzFeed, but then I saw it in real life. The pizza pocket necklace. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's like a necklace that has like a little like triangle shaped pouch for you to put in a slice of pizza, and it's so ingenious. I mean, I don't know how fresh it stays.
I could eat my slice fast enough that I don't think I need it in a pocket.
I think I took my picture of that.
Necklace.
I was probably like,
definitely still get like greasy. You still couldn't wear clothes that you liked.
Stick with the pretzel necklace.
We'll do the pretzel necklace.
Pretzels sound
Rainer in. Okay, what's
the
next one?
Next question: Apple or Android?
Apple.
They're gonna be like apple or pears.
I actually really thought that was a fruit question.
Apples or oranges?
I've only ever used Apple. In college, we used all Macs, like in our editing labs, in the audio and the video lab. Like that's all I've ever used. So I feel like that's all I really know.
Makes sense.
Did you have an Apple like as your first cell phone?
No. I mean, I was still.
I don't know when they.
I was still like in the age where they were like big for people to have in like high school, like. I don't know. Okay. I was old enough that like kids weren't having them in middle school, but it was like a thing to have in like middle and high school. So I had one of those like little track phone prepaid, and I had the only thing. None of my friends would text me because I wasn't on the same plan as them, and they didn't have enough messages.
Oh my gosh!
And so all I did was call my parents and play that snake game.
Yes,
I remember I had to wait until like 9 p.m. Because then it was free. Yes. Remember when they had free nights and weekends?
Yeah, but then my parents wanted me to turn my phone off at 10. So I was like, cool, I can talk to you guys for 1 hour. Like, and it takes forever to text with like the T9.
2000.
No one even knows what T9 word is anymore.
Nope.
If you really want to show your kids a lesson when they're older, you get them one of those old phones.
Teach them.
Flashbacks.
That'll teach them. Last question. Beach or mountains?
Man, it's hard though. Like, it's a toss-up. I really love the beach. I like constantly think about wanting to go to the beach, but I also like, I don't know. I just like to travel. So I don't feel like I really can choose that, because if the mountains were in like Greece, I don't know. I guess they have the beach there though too.
They do.
That is true. Whenever I think of Greece, I think of the Sisterhood of the Traveling
Yes, and all the like, pretty houses on the...
Yeah.
I've only been to the airport there, but it is really pretty. I went to Macedonia a few times, and they have this really great...
Where is Macedonia?
Right next to Greece.
Is it a country?
Yes.
I'm so uneducated right now.
I went there...
School teacher lesson here.
2 summers for missions. So we did like VBS.
What do they... Do they speak Italian? No. Greece. Not Italy.
It is...
What do they speak?
Oh my... I mean, they have a language... Macedonian. It looks similar to Greek, but it's one of those languages that makes sense, where the symbol is what the letter is and it makes the sound. So I could learn to read things because it was, once you saw one letter, you knew what sound it made. Okay. And it wasn't like, that's an H and it makes this sound, whatever. Yeah, so I learned to speak.
That's really neat.
Desto levo. Right, left? I don't know. So anyway, that has nothing to do with the mountains, but you're...
Mostly beach, though.
But fun fact, Christine has been to Macedonia.
But fun fact...
Is that where macadamia nuts are from?
No, but... Oh, macadamia... No. Oh, why am I saying no? I don't know, but macadamia... Oh, the guy there that was American, but there for missions and has lived there for years, would always say, like, macadamia... Like, it was him teasing people. Macadonut? I forget. It's been a while, but it's a beautiful country and they have beaches there, and
that's so cool.
It's so nice there.
Well, I never knew that.
I don't want to go everywhere, so I don't know. Everything is on my list.
It's a really long plane ride.
Oh yeah. Well, we went to India twice, and that was like probably a total of like 16 or 17 hours.
Wow, was that really deters me?
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's very long. I mean, it's totally worth it when you get there, but it's like you are on a plane you have to switch planes. You can't take one plane there. So it's like you go to London, so it's like 8 hours. And then it's like another, I think it's 10 to 12, depending on like which way you're going in like the jet stream or whatever. Yeah. So it's like, I think it was actually shorter on the way back.
It is faster, yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of nice because it was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be 18 hours again, but it was only 16.
I know, it was like instead of 12 or 11, it was only 10 hours coming home. I forget where our layover was.
Oh man.
How that works.
Traveling is fun, but it does get draining.
Yeah. Well,
internationally, so cool that you guys have traveled quite a bit.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little more comfortable. International flights.
Aren't you on like a staycation this week?
Yes, we're on a staycation. We both took off, which I only usually work like maybe 2 days during the week. So.
And where do you work at?
I work at Copper Cup. So, yes.
Copper Cup.
So fun. But I work in the mornings, and I feel like everyone who I see go there is always there after 1.
Well, tell me when you're there, and maybe we'll venture out.
I'm normally there on Mondays. and like until 1.
Well, I should see you on some Monday or another because I usually do work Mondays, and my sitter comes at 11. So I can get to Copper Cup before 1.
Yeah. So I took off this week. I do have to work Saturday, but I also have a shoot. So Ethan gets to have Saturday off also, but
nice.
I do not.
Well, good for you guys for making time for each other. And I feel like even like you're staying, you can almost enjoy each other more because you're just doing things that you love in your own home. And
we're doing our little beach trip, just the two of us, which is going to be great. So it's like just like I think it's going to be like all Thursday and like most of Friday.
That's so fun.
I think
I love your week. I love the week you're having.
I know.
Good for you.
Oh my gosh. Can't we all have a staycation?
I know. It's so necessary. So I'm excited about it.
Well, I wanted to ask, where can people find you other than Ocean City, Maryland, like on the internet?
So my Instagram handle is at Bethany_Ballentyne. And we kind of talked a little bit about Oak Moss.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, so their Instagram, first of all, is at Oak Moss Collective, and then the website is oakmosscollective.com.
Can I spell that? OAKMOSS Collective, correct?
Yes. So basically, I want to get it right, so I'm going to share the mission statement.
Yeah.
So it is, let me make sure I'm angled in the right spot here. So it's a community that thrives on creative experience. So like when people ask me what it is, it's kind of hard to describe because like we have a little like online shop, but also it's like really more about like the community aspect. So it's really more about like our gatherings and like collaborative experience kind of thing. So like we've done a lot of like workshops where we'll have it in like a cute spot. So we like encourage people to like take photos and like share them on social media and like encourage more like interaction with other people who then will see it and will want to come. So it's kind of like we're trying to create like a chain reaction of like, oh, I saw you share that. And actually it worked because I shared, and at our workshop for social media a couple weeks ago, there were a couple people who follow me who saw it and decided to come, which I thought was so cool because it was my first event with them, like officially on the team. There were like 2 people there, so I was like,
well, if I have what's the dinner coming up? Tell us about that.
So the dinner, I believe it's September 16th or 18th. I don't know. It's on Instagram and it's on the website. But so that one is called the Creatives Dinner. So we just had the Small Business Owners Dinner, which is more like, there was a lot of different people there. There were people who like sell clothing and like have boutiques. There are people who did like, there was one lady who did like letterpress, which is awesome. I like got to talk to her. It was amazing.
Wow.
And like most of it was local. So it was still like creatives, but like the business owners side. So sometimes I feel like the Creatives Dinner is kind of nice because it's people who don't always know a lot about business, but who have like this creative, like
freelancers.
Yes, I know. Like
those of us who work from Copper Cup or anywhere else, we can get free Wi-Fi.
So it's really cool. So usually, like the Creatives Dinner is full of people who do things like hand lettering, photography, video, web design, graphic design, that kind of stuff, and aren't necessarily business owners, but like can talk about these things together because when you're in a room and you start talking about video things, like people look at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're saying. So it's really awesome. That is like, I feel like our dinners are like the place to be. And then we have a print journal coming out, which is really cool. So I don't know if you know about like Deeply Rooted magazine.
I feel like I've heard of it. That sounds familiar, but I don't know.
So it's somewhat similar, I feel like, or like Kinfolk, like those kind of like really beautiful like table books. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of that style. But we have people who submit like photos, like who have written articles. We've done like I think we're sharing about like our past like workshops and stuff in there. So that is the dinner. I think is going to be somewhat of a launch party, or like it's launching around that same time. So we're hoping to have some of those like available to see. But that's going to be like another thing that we offer is like a print journal, like nice little table book that you can look at and be inspired by. And it's gorgeous. My friend Natalie is like putting it all together, and she's kind of like the leader. Like she started Oak Moss. And she's so, I don't know how she does it all, honestly. I have no idea. But she's put this together and it's so gorgeous, and I really want people to see it. Yeah. So everyone come because you should see the print journal.
Well, I wanted to ask,
so much fun.
What does the dinner cost? Or like, how do I sign up? Because when I have to say like, how did I hear about it? I'll mention you.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to say, look at all these people I'm bringing in.
Look at all these people. So I actually don't know what the ticket cost is yet because we're still selling tickets for our Terrarium Workshop.
Oh, okay.
I think that tickets go on sale that same week. So, and she shares, she's really good about sharing. So if you follow them on Instagram, she's really good about sharing, whether it's in her stories or actually on, and she usually will put an Eventbrite link in the Oakmoss
very
bio.
Cool. So go find them.
It's easy to find. It's easy to navigate. The website is really pretty and it's easy to get around.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, that's really cool to be part of.
Yes, it's so much fun. I love workshops. I'm obsessed. And I love seeing your workshop coming up.
Thank you. I'm excited. Well, I feel like what you had said earlier, Rachel, about community over competition, how all these businesses are just supporting each other, and such a cool partnership to be a part of, and see these other businesswomen just wanting to build each other up and just encourage each other in whatever their endeavors are. So I love it.
Yeah, I think it's been really great. I feel like that's been this year has been my year of cultivating relationships rather than being focused on making money or getting clients. I feel like I haven't done as much paid work this year, but I feel like I've built the relationships that I've been wanting. I know people who are florists now, and I know people who do event coordination, and I know people who have small shops and people who do websites. I know the people that I want in my circle that we could collaborate together, where if we're both in the same boat of look, I really need this done, but I'm not sure where to start, or I'm not sure what my budget is, where you can kind of work together. I feel like that this year has been my year to cultivate that, which I feel is really good for me.
Yeah, I was just going to say on that note, I feel like it makes your business even more valuable. Where you can say, we offer a video, and if you haven't decided on a photographer yet, we've worked with this person or that person.
People you trust and you know are going to do a good job.
Yeah, and I feel like the potential client that you're talking to is oh, wow, they already have relationships with these people. Yeah. They're probably more inclined to choose one of them then. It makes your life easier because they're probably going to pick someone that you like. But also it makes you seem more credible. I'm connected to all these other people. Oh, you don't have a florist yet? I can recommend someone to you. And I mean,
and it's good for everybody.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Then, and even if we don't get business out of it, we love especially seeing people who do different things, because I think it is still hard when you're oh man, I wish that we would have gotten those clients. But it's nice when you're creating these relationships with people who do completely different things than you,
right?
Because you can use each other, and it's not all about a business transaction. It's about look, we're friends, and I see what you're doing, and I want to help you make it everything it could be, or make it better, or whatever. I feel like that's more valuable than being yep, it costs $1,300 and I will invoice you. I don't know. I find value in that. Agree. I find I enjoy doing projects that I like doing, even if it doesn't necessarily mean that I brought in a big paycheck.
And I feel like that just speaks so highly to who you are as a businesswoman and what your passions are. So I feel like that just comes through in your character. So you keep doing that.
Thanks.
Well, thank you so much, Bethany, for joining us tonight. I had so much fun. And Christine, I am just I love all these guests we're having on the show.
Everyone has just been stand-up business owners, mom bosses, great women. So thank you, Bethany, for joining and sharing the heart you have for your business and your family, and it was just so great to talk to you.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions for Bethany, you can find her on Instagram, like she mentioned, at Bethany Ballentyne, or feel free to send us your questions, visit the website. On our community page. We have all of the recent interviews, so you can find people. I have the links to when our when our episodes go live, they're all on the site. And I also add notes from each show, so that if there's a product we've mentioned, or if there's a place that we've talked about, I'll try to link to their websites. I try to make it easy for you guys. So if there's something that you didn't catch, go to the Thrive, RachelKleinCreative.com/the Thrive podcast, and then click on community, and that's where you can get connected. So you'll be able to find Bethany and some of the things that we chatted about tonight. I'll have them linked, and it's just a great way too to interact with other people that are listening.
So thanks for joining us, and moms, in case no one told you yet today, you are doing amazing. Thank you so much for listening today. You are a part of a growing community of women, moms, and business owners who are here to encourage and inspire. You can connect with Rachel on Instagram at Rachel Klein Creative or like her Facebook business page for web design and marketing tips.
Keep up with Christine and all her latest events at Christine Campbell Events on Instagram. Another way to get involved and be first to hear about upcoming podcast guests and giveaways is to join our email list. You can sign up at rachelkleincreative.com/thethrivepodcast. And if you've enjoyed listening, be sure to write us a review on iTunes so that we can continue encouraging moms and businesswomen each week.